Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're getting super practical. We're going to build a blueprint for longevity. And you know what? It all starts with the one thing that underpins everything else, your metabolism.
All right, I want to start with a number that should honestly just stop you in your tracks. Some recent research found that only 6.8% of adults in the US are considered metabolically healthy. Let that sink in. Just 6.8%.
You know, this isn't just some abstract statistic. It's a massive wake-up call. And it really forces you to ask a tough but super important question. Are you in that tiny percentage?
So here's what we're going to cover in this explainer. We'll start with the crisis itself. Then we'll get into how to decode your body's fuel signals. After that, we'll build a daily blueprint you can actually use. We'll also touch on the coaching advantage. And finally, what's the real payoff here? Let's get into it.
All right, let's kick things off. The metabolic health crisis. What does that even mean? And, why is it so critical when we're talking about longevity?
Yeah, so metabolic health, it's not just about, not being sick. It's way more than that. It's about your body thriving. Think of it like your body's engine. When it's metabolically healthy, that engine is just purring, efficiently turning food into fuel and letting you perform at your absolute best. So how do we actually know if our engine is running well? Well, it boils down to four key things, four pillars. You've got your blood sugar, your blood lipids, that's stuff like triglycerides and your good HDL cholesterol, your blood pressure, and your abdominal fat, which we usually measure with waist circumference. It's like the dashboard for your body. If all those dials are in the green and you're not using medication to get them there, you're in a great spot.
Okay, so we have a dashboard, but how can we get a reading from that dashboard in real time? Like, right now, what fuel is your body burning? Carbs? Fat? Well, let's find out.
So for a long time, the only way to figure this out was with a big clunky machine in a lab called a metabolic cart. It measures something called your respiratory exchange ratio, or RER. Basically, it's a super scientific way of looking at the gases you breathe out to see if you're burning carbs or fat for fuel. The catch? You had to go to a special lab to do it.
But this is where things get really cool. Technology is totally changing the game. What used to be this expensive 40-minute ordeal in a lab, you can now do it with a little handheld device. You just breathe into it and boom, real-time feedback. Anywhere, anytime. It's a huge leap forward.
And this quote from an NIH study just nails it. We're stepping into a whole new world here. It's not just about tracking for the sake of tracking, it's about understanding. It's about seeing, in real time, how that meal you just ate or that workout you just did is changing what fuel your body's using. That's powerful.
Okay, so once you can measure it, you can manage it, right? So let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about building a simple, science-backed daily routine that puts you back in the driver's seat of your own metabolic health.
The research is super clear on this, especially from neuroscientists. It's the small things you do every single day that add up to create huge results. A real longevity plan isn't about some heroic one-time effort. It's all about building simple, powerful habits that you can stick with.
And here's a super simple but crazy effective morning routine. It starts the second you wake up. First, get outside for about 10 to 30 minutes of sunlight. This helps kickstart your body's internal clock, gives you that healthy morning cortisol bump to feel alert. Then you can stack that with some movement, a walk, a workout, whatever. And finally, try to time your first meal to line up with your body's natural rhythm. Simple, but it makes a huge difference.
Look, we all know this stuff, right? But knowing what to do and actually doing it, well, they're two totally different things. Building new habits is tough, and that's exactly where this new trend is making a huge impact. Health coaching.
And this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good thing. It's actually a game changer for workplaces. Think about it. When a company really invests in its people's health, it builds this amazing sense of loyalty and a much healthier culture overall. I mean, the data is pretty stark. Employees are over 50% less likely to look for another job if they feel their employer actually cares.
So, what are people actually asking for help with? Well, it's the big stuff, the fundamentals. Number one, by a long shot, is physical fitness. That's 60% of people. Right behind that is better sleep, and of course, getting a handle on nutrition. It's the basics of a long, healthy life.
Now, what's really exciting is how tech is making all this support so much more accessible. We're talking AI-powered apps that can look at your data and give you personalized tips, and virtual platforms that connect you with real coaches. This kind of one-on-one guidance, it's not just for the super rich anymore, it's for everyone.
Okay, so this all sounds great, but let's get to the bottom line. What's the actual payoff? What's the return on investment here?
both for people and for the companies they work for.
Honestly, the numbers are just mind-blowing. The research shows that for every single dollar a company invests in wellness, they get back over $3 in medical savings. And on top of that, they save almost another $3 because people aren't calling in sick as often. That is a seriously powerful business case.
But it's not just about saving money. The impact goes way deeper. We're talking about huge jumps in productivity, a massive drop, 56% in sick days, and, like we mentioned before, a big boost in keeping your top talent. That's a win-win-win.
So when you zoom out, you see this isn't really about tweaking a balance sheet. It's about investing in human potential. It's about creating a place where people can actually thrive, where they can unlock their best energy and focus, not just for their job, but for their entire life. That's the real long-term play.
All right, so as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one thought. Think about it. Every little thing you do today, that meal you choose, that walk you take, that extra hour of sleep you get, each one is like a vote for your future self. It's a vote for the person you're going to be tomorrow, next year, and 10 years from now. So the only question left is, what future are you building?